Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Now today I am going to be analyzing two different crashes that happened in the Cup Series in the Daytona 500. One of them, it is basically the pile up on lap 14, and the other one in the last lap. So I will be doing this throughout the week in NASCAR. I'll be mainly talking about the Cup Series. If there is a crash in the Xfinity Series I want to talk about, or the Truck Series, I will do that. But it's mainly going to be in the Cup Series. So this is going to be, so this is the first one. So this happened in lap 14. I will be putting this one down a bit. I mean I'm going to just do it like that. And so I'm just gonna just play it for a little bit, and then I will. So there's big wreck happens, obviously. A car is piling in, which is amazing. Um, we're trying to skip to the replay. Okay, so get my trusty pencil out. So you mainly want to look out for these two. So Eric Almirola and Eric Jones. You need to mainly look out for those cars. Because so you can tell if I can even go back to my mouse. I'll just mute this, I don't care. So we go to the backstretch. Obviously there's some craziness going around 3 wide there. But you see right here, you see the 18 and the 20 pushing each other, and because the 20, well, Bell wants to obviously move. Almirola is just he's standing put. He's not really going to. Well, he is obviously going to block Bell, but it'll be kind of hard to do that. And with the momentum that he has with Kyle Busch, it'll be very hard for him to block it. You see Chase Elliott is right near him as well. So he keeps going. So they keep the push, a massive run, and then you see that Kyle's front bumper is off Bell's rear bumper. That basically means that he's now off it, and the momentum carries Bell forward to Almirola. Now, because Bell was probably too fast and he didn't know what to do, what he could have done is that he could have maybe waited, like he probably gone a little bit later, or a little bit earlier, sorry, pulled out into the middle and maybe have Kyle follow him as well. But that didn't happen. It was kind of just a little rookie mistake. So he starts pushing him, and then he starts pushing Almirola. But because he hit him at such a weird angle, that got him very, very loose. So it got him a little bit loose there, and then hooks him. So you see that. So we go back, hooks him, and the right rear quarter panel hooks him there. Because he wasn't even anticipating the push. He wasn't even ready for it because the bumper wasn't straight enough to hit him. And it just pushed him. And it turns him into Bowman. Which then they go into the wall straight on. Both of them. So straight on into the wall. Everyone has to evacuate basically. Just run away. You see that Priest was very, very close. He was very close of getting in. And you see, so the 6th car, Newman. He wants to even avoid as well, but the grass is coming back onto the track, like basically where Chase is, and so he gets clipped and goes into the outside wall. Now let's look at Suarez. So what happened to Suarez, the iFly car, right here? Let's have a look what happened to him, because he looks like he's being pushed by Reagan. So this is Reagan. He's being pushed by him, and he just wasn't ready for it. It just looks like, see there? No, no. He just leans. He hits Kurt because he wants to avoid the oncoming Bowman coming back down to the racetrack because Almirola's just got it out straight. So Suarez wants to avoid it, but then he actually also tags Newman and collects Kurt and Jones. So these three have been collected into the wreck with Suarez trying to avoid it. You see that Reagan as well. He just has nowhere to go, and he spins right into the outside wall. Everyone else is now into the grass. Benedetto, I think he's gonna try and like just shoot through the middle, but I think he also gets involved. See that Jamie McMurray, Blaney as well, Byron, Truex. Reddick just gets turned by Truex because Truex is being pushed by Byron there. McMurray pushes Blaney. He was trying to get into the brakes. The Benedetto is in it. Chris Buescher is in it. Anthony Alfredo is also in it. And Jones comes back onto the racetrack, and it was just all carnage. So look at another angle here. So this is in the front. So you see that as Almirola gets into the frame because he gets pushed by Bell. Head on into the outside wall. And you see how close. You see how close the bumper and the car of Priest and Bowman is. You see how close it is. That is like, well, you can't really see it there actually. See how close that is? I just moved it. You see how close it is? That is very, very close. And it could have been like maybe like another like Priest might have just shot back up onto the track and collected everyone else. But luckily that didn't happen. Just put that back. There we go. And Suarez, you can just see in the frame here. Just see there. He tries to avoid it. You see there's Reagan there as well. He also wants to try and avoid, but he has nowhere to go, including Benedetto back there. So Suarez, the only he has to do is just try to avoid him, because he has to go down to Kurt Busch, which he's a little bit out of frame, but you see his spoiler. Reagan, he just has to turn to a hard right, just to try and hit it, but he gets right into the outside wall. Benedetto gets a little bit loose. Anthony Alfredo actually takes some damage. And with Alfredo hitting him, Chris Buescher gets spun out. And there's Tyler Reddick down in the grass. And watch Byron's. Watch the 24 car. Now, I don't know if he's going to... Yes, it is. Okay. He gets up into the air because of Reddick. Because it's like in a very, very like awkward angle. He hits him on the... I think it's in the outside wheel arches. I think that hits him. Hits him a tiny bit, so you see the damage there. Hits him right there, and causes him to almost very, very close to flip over. And that's because Newman is there. The force and energy just being hit causes the car to like almost like go over and have some airtime. Yeah, like Kurt's also like in the grass. It's just carnage, really, in the wreck. And Newman's like clobbering just in the middle of it, fire coming out. And Jones comes back in. He also gets some air. Also like Byron also gets some air as well because of the apron. It was just the elevation change between the track and the apron. Because the cars, you can see here, if it's sideways like this, the front bumper only touches around here, and the rear bumper is like over here. So that's pretty like that's a like a very weird angle as well, just to hit him. Because like if Almirola hit Jones right in the middle, he would have most likely flipped over. Most likely flipped over. Luckily he didn't, which is very, very good. And then everyone else is just in the grass. It just parks up. So I think this is Reddick. I think this is. I don't actually. I actually know who this is on board with. I think it's Reddick. No, this is Newman. Okay, so I'm on board with Newman. You can't really see the grass, but you see the grass is just coming back up onto the frame here. I'm also trying to work with what's on the OBS screen. It gets turned around by Suarez. Hits it to the outside wall. You see that Suarez just a little bit. He gets saved. You see that Byron just comes out of nowhere. And because of Reddick and also him basically sandwiching him a bit, he causes that causes that angle and that crash. Actually, no, it wasn't even Reddick actually, because that's Reddick over there. My mistake. It was just Newman. I mm. No, no, because Reddick actually hits Byron to here, and and then the force that and the speed that Byron was hit by, and also because he was going down to the apron, he hits Newman, and then just basically almost another car lands on him, and mud as well being flown by. Okay, so now let me search up for the last lap. Okay, so this is the last lap crash, and this is basically how you can't really see him, but this is not bad. Michael McDowell fucking won the Daytona 500, so you mainly want to focus on firstly on McDowell and Elliott, the 34 and the 9, and also the 5 as well, Larson, if you really want to consider him. So you're gonna see it in a moment. So he's gonna get a shove. Actually, no. So I think previously he got like a pretty. So he was actually being pushed by Elliott. He then gets a shove, pushes Brad Keselowski, but just like the other wreck, the previous wreck on lap 14, hits him in such a weird angle, it gets a little wibble wobble. And actually, so Keselowski obviously trying to make a move down the inside because of the push that McDowell was getting. So pushes him, and that causes Logano to spin. Now, what causes Keselowski to spin? That may be the one that everyone might be very, very confused about. After some very deep analysis, what I mean by that, I mean currently deep analysis. So you see he gets like a little push. It was just the air being taken off him. Because you see that, like, he doesn't touch him. McDowell does not touch Keselowski. The only time he touches Keselowski was when he hit him in the rear bumper. Yes, that probably gave him a little wiggle. Tries to correct it, going over 200 miles an hour. Tries to correct it, and then he hits his teammate Logano. Logano goes that way, Keselowski goes the other way, basically having like an opening. And then Kyle, the 18, having nowhere to go, clobbers Keselowski, gets into the catch fence. You see his rear end into the catch fence. Cindric sliding as well. Here's Kyle and Keselowski also into the wall. Logano spins back up, hits Chastain to 42. Fire. Wallace also comes in as well. I think that's Cole Custer also sliding. Big fire comes in. Chastain gets wrecked. Ryan Preece gets wrecked. Larson gets wrecked as well because of Hamlin. If I go back. So he actually gets hit by Keselowski's rear end. It might be kind of hard to see. But if you just use your eyes. So that one. So this contact right here. With Larson and Keselowski. That causes Larson to get a little bit loose. Hit Dillon. And then Hamlin, I think, hits him in the quarter panel. Makes him very loose. Fire obviously appears. McMurray hits the wall because he's just blind as fuck. There's also a wheel being lashed out, which I think was from Keselowski. And then everyone's just back onto is just going back onto the apron. Fire coming out and everywhere. And then fucking McDowell wins. I guess this is also like a very important thing to show you. So this is the catch fence. So this is what Keselowski basically hit. He hit, I think that is the supporter, I think. Or like, basically the thing that basically puts a stay there. So it's like a little like guardrail, like a little, like some pieces, like some sort of metal that's holding the pole in place, with the wires and like basically all the quote unquote zip ties, I'll call them. I don't really know what they're actually called, but those also holding in the wires so it won't fall over or basically break very easily. So it's like a type of barrier. It's basically like a type of barrier protection. So I think they have a very, very few highlights. So you see I don't know if you can see that. I don't think you can, but very small. You can see, you can just barely see. So McDowell pushes Keselowski a tiny bit. He gets a big old run, and he actually hits something square. But I think just the air was just taken off Keselowski, and he just gets sliding. Kyle Busch actually has nowhere to go, so he's going full throttle. He can't stop. He's going full throttle, so I can't blame him for smashing into there. And then Larson actually hits Hamlin just a bit, and then he's in spinning. It's basically the same exact view. Sliding head on into the wall. Kyle Busch just slams in, like I hear. And also Cindric. I think Cindric actually lost the wheel. He's also going full throttle because they can't stop. And also, you see, I think a tiny bit there. He actually gets hit in the quarter panel, the left rear quarter panel. He gets hit, and he just ends sliding. That was by Cole Custis. That was by this car. He gets hit, and then there's the wheel right there flying. He's hit straight on to Keselowski and Kyle. Bubba Wallace also has nowhere as well, nowhere to go. I think Wallace gets hit. This is a very long video, and I apologize. Wallace just has nowhere to go. And I think he probably had like a puncture or something. But let's just look at Logano for a second, and then we'll go back to this. So let's look at Logano. Logano, obviously, down the apron. He then comes back up, collects Chastain, who then collects Priest, which you can just barely see on your screen. So this is Priest, which I'm circling. And that's Chastain, which I'm also circling. So show it again. So Logano sends spinning into the grass. He then comes back up, nose first. It's Chastain and Priest, and then both of them go into the wall heavy, and then just the fire. Because so Logano comes back with the force, with the amount of speed of force coming back up onto the track. It was also with the speed to hit Chastain and Priest, which you can't see on your screen. And he hits just a blazing fire. And then they've been all gonna be, and then because they're also standing still, they just stop rolling. They're then going to slide down to the apron, which is basically what must come down. So now we're gonna have a look only at just at the fire, to basically the big one. So it looks like Wallace probably got some debris. So this is the 23 Wallace. He probably got some debris on him because of that. So some tips, so like some pieces that big one. Some piece have been flying off. It probably hit Bubba Wallace's car, causing him to turn a pretty vicious right. And the fire is basically caused of the fuel tank basically exploding. I think it was exploding. I don't know. So, something about the fuel tank. I think it's the way Cindric hit the car. I should probably get my cars and just show them, but I can't be bothered to really show myself on camera. So he hits the car. Maybe later. So he hits the car. I think fuel tank. So where the cap is, where the thing. How was I to explain it? Basically, the hole where they put the fuel in, and just basically just a massive surge of flames. And that was coming from Keselowski, because you see the fire from Keselowski's car. I just want to say everyone is okay. Everyone is not. No one is in hospital. Everyone is okay. No one's in hospital. It's not like the Ryan Newman clip. It is not like that. If it was, I would not be making a video until until I knew more stuff about it, until like I knew that he was okay and everything, because I didn't want to really talk about a wreck that someone died in. Like, I wouldn't talk about Dale Earnhardt, or I wouldn't talk about Jules Bianchi, or I wouldn't talk about Adam Petty. I wouldn't even I just want to first check if they're okay. Luckily, everyone was okay in that, so I could make a video like this. So next time, if you're wondering, it is the Daytona road course. By now, I have a video up of the winners, so of the results for the Daytona. Daytona 1, because there's another Daytona race coming up in August or something. So so yeah. So Daytona road course. The entry list has also been revealed. Some changes there, here and there. But I will be talking about the qualifying and the results um, in in a later video when everything is finished. So I hope you guys enjoy this analysis. I'll probably do more of it, maybe also with F1. Speaking of F1, I'll be doing this exact same process of format with two of my friends, and that'll be first we'll be doing preseason testing, and then yeah, more stuff will be coming out soon. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.